right, you guys, let me straighten out this camera here. It looks like we're good. I am just going to, boy, that still doesn't look good. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to move my camera a little that way. Looks perfect. There we go. I just don't want to see much of, like, the blank shit. All right, there we go. We're good. The Jordan Garber Now Daily News Update. I'm not going to go too much into things here today, but there are definitely a few things that I do want to cover today, and that does start out with none other than the release of Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak is no longer with the WWE. He is now a free agent, and that's going to be very interesting to see where Drew Gulak ends up. And my predictions, the top two predictions I see here, are going to be Impact Wrestling, Mexico, or Japan. Drew Gulak can definitely become a bigger star elsewhere, and as it may be a loss for Drew Gulak, I believe it is a much bigger loss for the WWE. You know, Drew Gulak is a workhorse, and he puts in the effort and he puts in the miles to have great matches every time and improve himself. I talked with this guy before he signed with WWE, and he is the next big thing. And he might not be the next big thing in WWE, but he's going to be the next big thing somewhere else. Mark my words. In other news as well, Rachel Ellering, WWE Diva in Developmental, is fired from the WWE after her comments on the WWE medical staff. I just feel that no one wants to work for WWE right now. And why is because you're always walking on eggshells. And when Jimmy Jacobs was on Jordan Garber Now, that's what he was explaining to me. Jimmy Jacobs was explaining that there's a lot of pressure in WWE. And do you really want to go to a job every day where you worry about being fired? That's something that is a dream come true to work for WWE, but it must suck having that day-to-day pressure on your back, knowing if you're going to put food on your family's table or you're not going to put food on your family's table. So signing with WWE it's not just a dreamland. It's a risk. It's a potential liability. And the proven of that goes to Willie Mack when he signed with NXT and he became homeless because the WWE released him. So, you know what? Wrestling is a lot of dedication and it takes a lot of heart to succeed in. But I definitely think Drew Gulak and Rachel Ellering is going to succeed somewhere else. I feel like they're just firing talent off and on because they're trying to make budget cuts. And I feel like they're successfully doing that. So it sucks seeing and losing the string of talent, especially that the Brazilian wrestler named Tamara Conti or whatever. It's another one that sucks. So WWE can release people, but they should be more logical about this, in my opinion, because I feel that some of these releases could be long-term liabilities. But on the positive side, this Saturday coming up is AEW. My God, I can't even put my words together. This Saturday is AEW Double or Nothing 2020, and it should be a great show. You have our main event. Well, it's not your main event, but one of our main events is Cody with Arn Anderson and Brandy Rhodes versus the unstoppable, it seems, and former Jordan Garber Now interviewee, Lance Archer with legendary Jake the Snake Roberts. And then in your next match, we have MJF with Wardlow against Jungle Boy, and then Jon Moxley versus Brody Lee for the AEW World title. I'm so excited to see that match. Can you imagine Brody Lee, AEW World Champion? Huge. Darby Allin versus Colt Cabana, who I've refed one of his matches of, and he's a jerk, but he's good outside of the business. So Darby Allin versus Colt Cabana versus Orange Cassidy versus Rey Fenix versus interviewee Scorpio Sky, Kip Sabian, interviewee Frankie Kazarian, and two more to be announced. That is going to be a casino ladder match for a future AEW World title match. Nyla Rose goes against Hikaru Shida in a no disqualification and no countout match for the AEW Women's World title. And Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, goes one-on-one against Chris Statlander, and Private Party against the Best Friends determine the number one contendership for the AEW World Tag Team title. And, of course, Stadium Stampede, Matt Hardy and the Elite, Adam Page, interviewee Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson versus Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, and interviewees Santana, and Ortiz, which is developed of the Inner Circle. So I'm watching it this Saturday. I believe you guys should too. It should be a great pay-per-view in the promotion that is the future of wrestling. And of course, I'm going to be back with you guys next Friday and Central Standard Time on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Once again, I'm going to go talk about in the news update tomorrow about WWE surveying fans about using wrestlers in the crowd. More on that on the next news update. But for myself, Jordan Garber, and the Jordan Garber Now podcast, you guys have yourselves a wonderful night, and please, please stay safe out there.